Hey guys, welcome back. It's BMW Dr. Dean here. Today we're going to be changing the spark plugs on the N52 because, as you remember from the valve cover, I had to put back in the old spark plugs which were covered in oil. I do have a receipt for them being changed only like 2 months ago with the free ignition coils as well at the same time. But to be on the safe side, as I don't know if they're going to be running at the full optimum efficiency due to having been coated in oil, and obviously oil, as you know, is a very sticky stuff with fuel. I tried putting them in injector cleaner, it didn't work. So what we're going to go and do now is go and remove them. Obviously I didn't show you how to remove the coils last time, so I will show you how to remove the coils on these cars, and then what we'll do is have to get that cover off to get to the last two at the back there. But that's about it. So we'll be back once I get everything sorted in situ, and I'll show you how to change the spark plugs. Obviously we're going to be using NGK Erdium Platinum, which I'll just get now, and they're right here. And obviously, as you'll see, it's this brand. This is the 4, they're very good. I've got them in my 530i and they do help a lot. Obviously I should have changed these in the start. I should have known to change these because I knew it was going to be the CCV blown, but I didn't buy them thinking they would have been alright because the guys only just changed them. But so now what we're going to do is go ahead and change them. So we'll be back in a sec. So as you'll see, you want to just lift the cap off the coils. Obviously you just want to remove all the plastics there, but obviously you've seen me do that about 1,000 times, so I don't really want to be doing that on the video, as it just longs the video off for no reason. Obviously you know there's just 3 caps there, pull straight out, so you want to remove that harness, otherwise you won't be able to get to the other spark plug down there in the hole. Obviously, as you see though, the coil, ignition coil cap comes straight off. If they don't come out, you're just going to pull them up like that with a screwdriver, and then they come out like that. And the same for the next one. Usually these black ones are quite easy to release. The only ones I had trouble with the last time were the grey ones, removing them, but apart from that, these ones come out quite easy, as you see. And as I've only just put them back in, they're right easy. So again, just pull up like that and then take the connector out. And as you see, this works the whole way around like so. You just can pull them out with your finger and then disconnect the connector. So, and the same goes for these ones. I think these ones are a bit stiffer, as these are the ones that have been replaced. Yeah, these are the ones that are a bit stiffer. As you can see, the cap don't just come straight off. You've got to use a screwdriver to prise the connector off, which is what I'm going to do now. And they're quite stiff to get out as well, so I'll be back in a sec once I get a screwdriver to prise the cap off them. See, I've now released them both with a flat-edged screwdriver, and now what we're going to go and do is just pull them out, and they do come out quite easy, even though they're quite solid. And then you're going to do the same for that one, pull that one out as well. So once they're out, now all you've got to do is get your spark plug removal tool, and obviously you're going to want to remove the whole spark plugs. So I'm going to take them all out, and obviously this is a good time to check as well if the car is still losing oil. It might still be burning off oil from the blown CCV. I have driven it about 30 miles, 40 miles so far, and it seems fine. There's no more smoke, no more black smoke dumping on hard acceleration, so which is a good thing. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get my tool and we're going to remove the spark plugs. So as you can see guys, I've got my socket, and now what you want to do is get your spark plug socket removal tool, and obviously you just want to remove the spark plugs like so. Now I'm going to say the new ones need to be retorqued back to 25 Newton meters on these cars, but obviously they do come off free easily, as I have removed them already and redone them. As you can see there, they'll just release. So what you want to do is get all 6 of them released like so. They'll all come out, and then what you want to do is put the old ones back in. Be careful not to drop them. My advice is to get the new spark plugs, attach them to your spark plug socket removal tool, and then put them in. Don't think of dropping them in because you'll damage the tips and you'll damage the measurements as well, guys. So as you can see, this was the spark plugs. I don't know if you lot watched the cover video, some of you might have, some of you might not. This was the state of the spark plugs, all 6 of them. Now, as I can see, there's no oil on them anymore. They're all gone white, which they're meant to be, white for burning fuel. But they were covered in oil, and I mean completely covered in black, but now they're not, which is a good thing. So we're just going to replace them anyway because of this situation, and I don't want to have to change them again on one stops, because usually these can cause misfires and you don't want to misfire on a BM. So as you can see, this is all of them. They're all caked like that with bits on them. Half of them are destroyed, so we're just going to go ahead and replace them and put the new ones in. Obviously you want to remember, when you put new ones in, thread them by hand, torque them down 25 Newton meters. So that's what we're going to do next. Obviously I've already fitted 2 of them, so I'm just going to show you how you would fit them. So what you want to do is you want to go in and just turn them by hand like so, like this, and you want to make sure to just not over tighten them, because when you come in with a torque wrench, you want to torque them down. So like I say, you just want to do it very gently, and then take your tool out and then keep putting them in like that. As you can see, that's the third one done. Now I've got another 3 to go. So once I've done the other 3, I'll come back and I'll show you how to torque them down with a torque wrench. So we're going to be torquing them down with a Draper torque wrench. Draper is an English company that sell tools. They've been around for centuries in the UK. They sell very high quality tools. They used to be the only tool company when I think it was in 1930s. They started the company up, and they were around before Snap-on, and they were selling tools to all the major garages here. Draper are a very good company. I highly recommend them. Their tools are very solid. I've been using their torque wrenches for my wheels. I've got a torque wrench from every stage going upwards, and their tools I can't fault them. As you see, I use their screwdrivers as well most of the time. They're flathead screwdrivers. I've got a lot from them, and their tools are excellent. So we'll be using the torque wrench, and I'll show you how good it is after. You can see, guys, I'm using these tool adapters which were sent to me by US Pro, which were sent by Berlin Tools. They're a company on eBay. They're high quality. As you can see, there's the whole adapters here for them in total, and the adapters are very good. Like I say, they adapt to all the sockets, as I'll show you here. I'm using one now on my torque wrench, which is right here. This is a Draper torque wrench. As you can see, one of the adapters are on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and pull it in, and as you can see, I've locked the torque up to 25. As you can see, this is a Draper, and as I say, we're going to go ahead and use it and show you how it works. So obviously you're going to hear the click on it is very good. I've used them before to do the fan belt pulley, as you see. And you just want to carry on. As you can see, it's clicking. So that's the click for it. And the same for this one. You just want to carry on. And you just want to keep turning it and turning it until you get it perfectly. So you carry on until you feel the click. There you go. So as the click comes, you can hear it clearly. Usually the click itself will click. You just have to be patient, and you can't over torque it. That is 25 Newton meters, which is what I'm doing. There you go. So that's how you use it, guys. As I say, this is a Draper torque wrench, and as you can hear it click. I mean, you don't want to over tighten them, you don't want to keep tightening, you have to wait for that click. And the click happened. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and finish off here, and then we'll put the ignition coils back on. As you can see, guys, the spark plugs are all back in. Everything's been torqued properly. As you know, you hear the click. Now, as you can see, guys, when you finish with a torque wrench, always zero it back down. Always put it back to 0. And before you ever use it, always adjust the spring inside. Otherwise, make sure it's calibrates right, because you don't want it to not calibrate correct, and then you end up snapping something, or it doesn't get torqued up to the right degree. Now, I think the intolerance here, it might be out there by a small fraction, but these already come calibrated as well. They're very good. As I say, I've got 3 of them, from 5 to 25, from 10 to 80, and I think I've got another one from 30 to 240 in there, which does the wheels and anything big bolts that I need. But all in all, these are very good. As you can see here, the calibration adjuster, you don't need to touch that. I mean, if you get any problems, Draper will respond and will deal with you effectively on them. But as you see, I've used them for the spark plugs, and they work great. So now what I'm going to go and do is put the coils back on anyway. Here you go, the car's now back together. It's running perfectly. I've only just started it, so it's running from cold start now. Obviously, I'm going to say this in the video. I know this is a little late to this video as I've been changing spark plugs, but if you've got the magnesium valve covers, you saw me change it. Now is a good time, when you change them as well, after 3 heat cycles, you should check these bolts and just make sure they're all sitting tight, none of them snap. They're all tight, because obviously, as you know, they're torque to yield. Some of them you might have missed, or some of them might have come loose. And just retighten them back up a little bit, even by an inch. Just put your 1/4 inch ratchet on them and just turn them. If they play, just tighten them down to you feel the tight, but do not over tighten them, because they will snap in the head and you don't want to have to redo that job again. So it's better if you just recheck them. As you see now, the car's running a lot better. It did give out a lot of oil smoke, and that's due to because the old spark plugs, as you can see here, were covered in oil. But what I do recommend, the one thing I do recommend you do, is always take your spark plugs out, because the spark plugs tell you a sign of what's wrong with your car. A healthy spark plug shouldn't look like this. Now, if someone had done this before, they would have noticed that it was burning oil by that CCV, and the CCV was letting oil into the combustion chamber. So the good thing to check with BMW is always check the spark plugs. Spark plugs will tell you exactly what's wrong with the car and what to do with the car. I mean, if you see oil in the chambers, then you know your CCV's gone. You just replace the CCV. But it is quite common sense. Providing you know how to use a tool and use a ratchet, you can just easily remove these. Anyone can do it. And then you'll know what's wrong with your BM. So what I'm going to do, guys, this is going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Obviously, you've seen now I've changed spark plugs. The next one you're going to see is how to change the oil filter gasket and the oil cooler gasket as well. And we're probably going to change the drive belt tension and drive belt pulley and the pulley and the belt itself. So thanks for watching, guys. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.